Is your dog acting strange? Are you wondering what's wrong with them? Have they eaten something that they shouldn't? Just what are the signs of poisoning in dogs? Clearly it depends on the poison, but many symptoms of poisoning are the same. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Avery from ourpetshealth.com, helping you and your dog to live a healthier, happier life. There are many potential poisons out there that your dog may accidentally come into contact with or eat. This might be toxins in your house and around the garden, or different poisonous foods in the kitchen. If you haven't seen my videos on the most common of these, then be sure to check out the links down below. Obviously, different poisons and toxins act in different ways, and so the symptoms will be different. Despite this though, many symptoms cross over, and so we can make some generalizations and break them down into those affecting different parts of the body. Probably the most common group is intestinal signs. Now this might include excessive salivation, vomiting and diarrhea, but these are pretty common symptoms, so when should you be worried that it is more than a simple tummy upset? If your dog has only vomited or had diarrhea a couple of times, is otherwise bright, happy and well, then severe poisoning is unlikely, unless of course you've seen them eat something nasty. If however they are otherwise unwell, if there is blood in their vomit, or if you see anything unusual in their vomit or stools, then poisoning could definitely potentially be the cause, and you should get your dog checked over by your vet. Our next big group of common problems is neurological signs, or problems with the body's nervous system, and these are again relatively common feature, becoming more common if a higher dose of poison is given or if treatment is delayed. These signs might involve twitching, tremors, wobbliness, also known as ataxia, incoordination, seizures and fitting. Now any of these signs, regardless of cause, should prompt a visit to your vet as soon as possible. Problems with the blood is our number 3 symptom group, with several toxins causing issues here. Bleeding is a result of rat bait poisoning, one of the most common poisonings seen. This bleeding could be anywhere, and so it may not be obvious, but bloody vomiting or coughing up blood are symptoms you would certainly notice. Bleeding evidence can also be seen by looking at your dog's gums. If they are pale or even white, then blood loss is one potential cause. Looking at your dog's gums can show other signs of concern as well. Anything other than a normal healthy pink generally indicates that something's not quite right and should prompt a visit to your vet. Blue tinged gums suggest the lungs may not be working properly. If they are yellow, then the liver might be having problems, or the red blood cells might be broken down within the blood. Other colours to watch out for include a muddy brown and a bright brick red. Take a look at your pet's gums now when they are healthy. This will give you something to compare with in the future if you're concerned about your dog and think that they might be unwell for any reason. The heart and lungs are other areas commonly affected by poisons. Many toxins will cause the heart to become much more rapid than normal, and this might be because the body is generally under a greater strain, or because the toxin is directly affecting the heart, causing it to beat more quickly. And tied to this is the potential for the heart rhythm to also become erratic and for an arrhythmia to develop. An arrhythmia in itself can be fatal, but can also lead to less blood travelling around the body, which may result in damage to other body organs such as the kidneys. Now, placing your hand on the left side of your dog's chest, just behind their front leg, should allow you to feel their heart beating. A normal rate really depends both on the size and the fitness of your dog, with the bigger and fitter they are, then the lower their normal heart rate will be. A rate of over 160 beats a minute in a dog who's resting in their home environment would generally be abnormal, but for your dog this abnormal rate might actually be much lower. You may also be able to feel if the heart is beating regularly or if it's becoming erratic, although this can be quite difficult to determine just by feel. If your pet is overweight as well, then you may also struggle to feel their heart in this way at all. But this is another thing that you can practice at home so that you know what is normal for your pet and what might be abnormal if they're unwell. Now, if the lungs are affected, then the most common symptom would be a fast breathing rate. In some cases, this can be accompanied by an increase in effort needed to take each breath. In those animals that are really struggling to breathe, their neck may be stretched forward and their elbows held away from the body in an attempt to make breathing easier. If this is the case, then their gums are also likely to be blue rather than a healthy pink. Again, knowing your own pet's breathing rate when they are resting at home will allow you to know if they are breathing much faster than normal. A normal rate would be around less than 30 breaths a minute. Next up is the kidneys and liver. Both of these organs can be involved in processing and removing toxins from the blood, and both can be affected or irreparably damaged by some toxins. With kidney damage especially, symptoms may be very vague and just consist of your pet appearing lethargic, going off their food, and being generally very unwell. This is because damage can happen very quickly. If it takes place over a longer period of time, then you may notice that your dog starts to drink or urinate a lot more than they normally do. The urine itself may also appear abnormal, in some cases turning bloody. The situation is generally the same with liver damage, although another sign of any liver disease can also be that the gums turn yellow, especially if the damage has taken place over a longer period of time. Our final group of potential poisoning symptoms in dogs are those that do not fit into the other categories, and these include pain or discomfort, restlessness, hyperactivity, abdominal bloating, a raised body temperature, coma, and finally death. So you can see from everything discussed here that there are many different symptoms that might indicate your pet has come across something poisonous. And this list might not include some of the more unusual things that your dog might have access to or come across in their lives. If you are ever worried that your pet is suffering from the effects of poisoning, then your vet should really always be the first person you call. Time is critical in the treatment of poisoning. Rapid intervention might be enough to avert a potentially life-threatening situation. As with most things, prevention is by far the best strategy. Learn about the most common toxins and dangerous foods in your house and garden, as well as any other poisons that your pet might come across in their local environment. If you know what is potentially dangerous, then you can take steps to shut them away from your pet so they never have access to them in the future in the first place. Now, if you have any questions or stories about your own pet coming across something nasty, then I'd really love to hear from you in the comments down below. Also, if it's your first time here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification to make sure that you don't miss out on future content and allow me to continue to help you and your pet to live a healthier, happier life. So until next time, I'm Dr. Alex from ourpetshealth.com, because they're family.